Susan, I'm just on a live.
Oh, okay.
All righty. Here it comes. Guys and girls, let's make sure we're on. Internet's good. Comments are there. Audience is building up. Beautiful. Hey, everyone. It is Tom Panos here. And I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. My bad with some of the tech links that I've been using on StreamYard. But I'm pretty excited here as we get our audience slowly building up for the Monday Night Rant, where we talk about everything success, real estate, and today we're even going to talk about property development, because the guy that's sitting on the other side of this screen, Ryan, is it Houston or Houston?
Houston.
Ryan Houston. So let me tell you about this guy. I love this guy. Hi to everyone that's coming on. Hi, Jay, Ian, Mole, Matthew, Mo, Chris. How you going? The reason I love this guy is I want to tell you his story. 5 years ago, he was a plumber. He was clearing up drains. He was doing what plumbers do. And then he got into real estate. He works up in the Hunter Valley, Newcastle area. You're going to hear his story. But what I like about this guy is he's been creative enough to understand that, hey, you might as well actually put your money into real estate if you're selling real estate. Have belief in the product. Have skin in the game. Take advantage of intellectual knowledge that you have. Understand that you're going to make your real money while you sleep during property growth. And Ryan, I've got a few people coming in. Look at this guy here. I don't know. He's a good fan of yours, Michael Cawthorn. Ryan is a beast in Newcastle, off the plan market sales. And we are going to cover off market sales as well today, because it's an area that if you learn the art of actually dealing with developers and being a great project marketer, you can supplement your GCI and residential by millions of dollars a year. So Ryan, welcome. How are you, brother?
Yeah, good, Tom. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
It's absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. Ryan, tell us a little bit about your situation. How old are you?
I'm 32 years old.
32, and you recently had a baby?
Yeah,
your partner?
That's right. Just got married 3 weeks ago. Just got married, but we've got a little baby girl, Parker, who's 16 months old.
Okay, and Ryan, you've been in real estate now for 5 years?
5 years. 5 years and about 3 months. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone, how exciting is this? Think about it. In a matter of 5 years, he's now on his way to become a property tycoon, both out of listing and selling real estate. And you do a combination of both traditional real estate, which is house that are sold by mums and dads, but you also deal with developers and do project marketing. So describe what you sort of do, what the split up is between, what percentage split you do between the two.
Yeah, so originally I came into PRD as a off-the-plan or training up to be an off-the-plan person. That was my goal. I met with Mark Kentwell, who I know you know him very well.
Great guy, one of the great operators in real estate. I think he's just gone overseas, or he's coming from overseas, is he?
Yeah, he's over in France at the moment.
Beautiful.
So I met him down at the beach. I was plumbing at the time, and I was actually doing my first little project in Wallsend, a local suburb here in Newcastle. And he suggested that he has this off-the-plan business called Newcastle New Projects, and he thought, wow, Ryan, would you be interested? Now, at first glance, I thought, it's probably not for me, real estate. However, I met with Mark over a coffee, and he sure as he does, sort of, got me into it, explained me the process, and said that there's this off-the-plan division that you'd be, really suited to. So I went on through the program. I started on the front desk, went through property management, and then was an assistant agent in the residential space until an off-the-plan projects assistant agent came up, and I had to apply for it in-house, and I was lucky enough to get it. I learnt my time very fast, actually, in that space. And then I actually was doing quite a few sales in the off-the-plan space, and I actually won a push-up comp one time with you, Tom. And
Sure.
So I met with you about two and a half years ago in Sydney in the News Corp office. And yes, and I told you about some of the referrals that I was given to the residential team, and you said, Ryan, you're crazy. What are you doing, mate? You said, why don't you just put on someone pay them a base wage, pay them a split every time they give you, a listing or sell something for you, and then you can leverage your business up. So I listened to that advice. I went on out. I got 2 assistants pretty early on for the resi business, and then as I built the projects business, I now got a projects girl as well. So now we have a total team of 4 in my EBU, which covers. It's about 70% of my time is in projects, and about 30% of my time is in residential. And for this year to date, we've settled 47 residential properties, and we've settled 50 project properties to date.
Okay. So, man, for when you say this year, calendar year, you're talking about?
Calendar year, yeah, 2022.
And listen, based on that run rate, if things were to continue at that run rate till the end of this calendar year, what do you reckon the combined GCI would be out of the 2?
Yeah, I'm on forecast for 2.2 million.
Right. And you've got a team. So Ryan, and your team is you plus 3 other people.
Correct.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, project marketing, you've got a foot in both camps. Project marketing versus traditional normal real estate. What do you find are the biggest differences? And what's harder?
Well, look, I think project selling off the plan is really selling a dream. You're selling, for cars, it's fairy dust right now. It's absolutely a dream, and you really have to know your location. You need to know your retail in the area. You need to know the schools. You need to know the infrastructure. You need to be following the local city council websites constantly to see what's new and good, so you can then sell that into a potential purchaser. Because a lot of the off the plan that we get here in Newcastle or sell in Newcastle is from people from Sydney, is from people from Armidale and Dubbo and Orange coming into Newcastle, which is now a lifestyle city, and investing in their future. So it's really investing in the futures of real estate off the plan. Where residential, look, I mean, you're at a front door, you're letting the buyer come on through. I believe you don't have to do as much selling in a traditional real estate. I think negotiations is extremely important, if not the most important in existing real estate. But I really think the buyer is really ticking their own boxes. And all you have to do in existing real estate, and probably both, but you just really need to listen to the client, is what I believe. And then you can really just match them up.
Yeah, listen, just talking to you there, I've never done project marketing sales myself. But in the times I've interviewed people and worked with people in there, it's become very clear. They're really buying your trust in project marketing. Like when they're seeing a house, Ryan, they know what their money's being exchanged for. They're going to swap this $1 million and they're going to get that house on that block of land with that kitchen, that bathroom, those light fittings, and it's really clear. When they're actually buying project marketing, they're buying faith in you for a start. They're sort of buying what feeling you have is being conveyed to them. The second thing I would say is it must be quite different, because in normal real estate, one vendor equals one listing. But in project marketing, one vendor can equal 100 listings, or I don't know. What's the biggest projects you've got?
Yeah, we've got we just settled a project a year ago now, 212 apartments, but our biggest at the date right now is 190 apartments. So yeah, we've got a vast range from duplexes, which is 2, all the way up to 190 currently. Yeah.
Okay. But I would say the other thing is, whereas in normal residential real estate, you might have 75% success rate with getting a vendor to adjust their price, and then hence the property will sell. In project marketing, you're really relying on one vendor to actually adjust the figure to meet the market. And obviously, the more motivated the developer is, the better it is, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly right. And I guess, Tom, it really segues into our topic here as well, is myself doing a little bit of development on the side as well, is that understanding that process is so important. Being an off-the-plan specialist as well, you really need to understand the development process, because it's, if you look at the 3 main components on a development, you look at the acquisition cost, the construction cost, and then the sale prices. Well, they're really relying on us, the real estate agent, to ensure that their gross realizations are going to work, because essentially it's a matter of making or breaking the site. if the agent is wrong, it could totally blow up their feasibility study and the development will actually never happen, which then you get no commission. So you are really need to be right on the ball when you are even signing up a development. So I'd suggest if you are looking to do it, make sure that you know the product knowledge, know how feasibility studies work, know how the process works, because it's a long, long game. It can be very lucrative, but it can also be heartbreak.
Okay, so Ryan, I've pushed the community that follows me and the people that I do education, training, coaching, consulting, that what they should do is make sure that they're taking money that they're making out of commissions and reinvesting it back in real estate, because the way that you're going to build ultimate wealth is to make money while you sleep. And the way that you'll make money while you sleep is by owning real estate, long term, or shares, or any kind of asset class that goes up. But and so I've always pushed it. I've always been an investor myself. You, on the other hand, are developing. Do you develop and hold, or develop and sell?
We do both. We do both. So, for example, the two projects we have right now, one's 5 townhouses at Warners Bay. We're going to sell all of those ones. And the reason being is that it's essentially just for the location, for our strategy for that one, to grab the profits and move on to something a little bit closer into town is the strategy up front. For example, the other project, which is 4 Torrens titled townhomes in New Lambton, which is a very much a blue chip area, where something that myself and my family really enjoy. So we're actually going to keep one of those ones and actually live in it for probably the first 6 months, and then maybe sell it then and then move closer into town again. So it's just stepping stones to get us closer and closer into the beach, is where we finally want to move.
So Ryan, I want to ask you, did you learn most of the work in doing your own developments? Did you learn it on the job, or did you go do a course of any description? Where did you get your info, your intel?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I got in doing the developments was a few things. I had a mentor up front. So I had coffee with mentors who were in the space doing it each day. They're the ones who really inspired me. And I remember first getting into real estate thinking, wow, geez, I hope one day I can sell their villa, unit, townhouse, or land subdivision. Another thing, similar to Arik, development industry has a thing called Urbanity, which is up in Brisbane. And the urban developer guys, they hold a 2-day conference up there, and they interview the biggest and the best developers Australia-wide, if not the worldwide. So you take notes, of course, just like Arik, and you then come back and implement. But yeah, the most of the learnings was definitely on the job. You can read a lot of books, but the councils are a big hurdle, or not a hurdle, but it's an important part of the process. But you really need to have a great town planner who understands the land environmental policies and the development control policies, because there's just that many different little costs and submissions and forms and fees that you need to pay, and it can really derail a development if you don't do it right or have the knowledge.
Is there a lot more profits in buying something that there's no DA approval?
Well, I mean, our site in Warners Bay was DA approved for 6 townhomes, right? But it was 3-story, 2-bedroom townhouses, right? 3-story, 2 bedrooms. As an agent, I'm mastering the sale, so I know what's saleable in that area. So straight away, we looked at that DA and we went to auction, and we were the only bid. Oh, there was 2 of us, two bidders, but we bidded at auction in an open forum, transparent forum, and we actually just scrapped that DA immediately, because I knew that if we could get 5 3-bedroom, 2-story townhomes, we could really pull into that downsizer market, which is going to be much stronger for Warners Bay. And we did that successfully, 6 months in the council, or 7 months in the council. So that was a bit longer than expected. But we were able to get DA approval, and we've just actually started. Demolition starts tomorrow, actually. So that's a great result.
Can I ask you, how much time is taken when you've got a development? Obviously, if you've got business partners, the load is shared. How much time's taken in a development?
Yeah, so we have a set meeting every Friday for 2 hours, which just focuses purely on actions from the week that was, and then future actions as well. Now, realistically, it's really, you're just the developer, and you've got all of these consultants around you. And what I've really learned, similar to real estate, it's just about hitting the ball back over the net. As in, you can't let a consultant have the plans for too long, or you can't let a consultant, waiting for the engineering or the sewer diagram you need to constantly be following up, just like, listing potentials or buyer potentials. I believe the follow-up, the proactive approach is really the key to real estate and developing or in life in general. But to answer your question, Tom, I spend about 2 hours a week.
That's it. The rest of the stuff is all based on listing and selling real estate.
Correct.
Mate, what's your typical day look like?
So I wake up 5:30 a.m. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. I go and meditate. I go for a CrossFit session at 5:30 to 6:30. I then jump in the ocean every morning. I then go home, have brekkie with the family, and then I'm in the office at 8 o'clock every morning. Okay, 8 o'clock sharp. That's just my time. I prospect from 8 to 1 every day. So I'm just calling my reminders or new prospects. And then from 1 to 5, I'm out doing appointments. Now I'm home every day at 5:15 sharp. My beautiful wife, she has dinner ready for me so I can have it with the baby as well. But I'm not doing after-hour appointments or anything like that. I'm simply an 8 o'clock to 5:15 p.m.
Okay, but when you're at work, you work.
Oh, yeah. I get coached by Dr. Fred Gross, and I write down every 30 minutes. And now it's a matter of each 30 minutes. It's not about being dollar productive. It's about how I can be ultra dollar productive in each of those 30 minutes. So I'm just trying to wind up that dial every single day.
Okay. And on a typical, is that your day basically replicated 5 days?
Every day. Yeah, 5 days. Okay. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Do you work Saturdays?
Yeah, I do. I mainly float. I float between a few open homes. I float between display suites. I do phone calls to the vendors, letting them know about numbers and also a bit of strategy on that day as well. I like to get that up front. But like Tom, my goal is by the end of the year is to actually take Saturdays off and spend those with my family as well.
Okay, I'm getting some great feedback coming from people, mate. Can I just ask you? In fact, I'm just going to bring up. Hopefully, I've got it here on my phone because I know you've got some ambitious goals, Ryan, that you've sent to me on the WhatsApp group. Let me just bring it up. And actually, mate, when you're a winner. Like I remember getting off the phone, and within getting off the phone, you've actually gone off and set me your goals. Like you've got goals for the month of August, everyone. Here are his goals. 12 new residential listings, 6 unconditional sales, 1 project listing off the plan, 10 off the plan sales. Mate, you've got I think off the top of my head, your plan is you want $1 million to take yourself home out of just the real estate sales business for the 12 months. Is that right? You want $1 million $1 million on your group certificate.
Correct. Yeah, that'd be the goal.
And then in addition to that, profits that you make out of property investment, property development, call it what you like. Mate, I want to ask you, do you ever get stressed?
Yeah, I do. I sometimes get a little bit of overwhelmed. Sometimes when it's more the resi business that really makes me overwhelmed a little bit, in regards to, I guess, trying to have that balance from projects to resi. I guess, there's no doubt my heart really does fit in the project space where it just comes a little bit more natural to me. However, look, I think I have excellent tools and support to get through that, and I'm just getting better each day, which is the main thing.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, what are some of the non-negotiables that you've got in your life, in your day, personal or business?
Oh, well, health is number one. There's no doubt about it.
You train every day?
Yeah, every day. I'm doing something every day. Yeah, for sure. It doesn't have to be as exertion of CrossFit, but it can be a walk along the beach or a sprint up the hill. It's always something. Health is number one. There's no doubt about it. Then, of course, family. Family is very, that's extremely important to me. Having dinner every night, putting the baby to bed, bath, extremely important, that balance. There's no doubt. Look, one thing in real estate that's most important to me is just picking up the phone. It's something that I learned very early on, and I sometimes used to get criticised in regards to Ryan, are you making sure you're calling the right people? Because I made a lot of phone calls always. My thing was always 100 outbounds, 40 connects, 3 appointments. That was just constantly in my brain. But look, I think it's just, where focus goes, energy flows. And I really think that there's some magic out there that the more activity you do, the more it just comes back magically. And that's something that really sticks by me, and something I make sure myself and my team are always doing. I'm so passionate on the calls. How
do you, with your team, do you meet up every morning?
Every morning, 8:45 sharp, we meet. We're very We're time. Everything is by the minute. So that's why I felt so bad about tonight with the StreamYard link. But we have an hour meeting every Monday, and we have an hour meeting every Friday. But a 15-minute meeting every morning, 8:45.
Okay. How many appointments you reckon you do a day?
Me? Well, look, right now, my goal is to try and remove myself from those sort of buyer appointments. I'm more talking listing appointments for mega projects now. I'm trying to focus on mega ones, which are now sort of 1 or 2 a day.
Right. Okay. Beautiful, mate. Absolutely. Do you sleep well?
Yeah, I sleep amazing. Yeah. I'm into bed pretty early, 9 a.m. and wake at 4:36. So yeah,
so 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And you wake up at 4:36. 4:36.
Yeah, it's something that Kentwell taught me. It's something about the numbers being a bit odd, and it just stimulates something in your brain. So I just copied it.
Okay, and you eat clean?
Yeah. Premium 98 fuel, straight in. Yep.
That's what I love to hear. Anyway, gang, an inspiring interview on a Monday night. And the reason I wanted to share this one was for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is plumber 5 years ago, look at what can be achieved. Number 2 is the ability, and I'm going to encourage it more and more, and it doesn't have to be property development. I know some real estate agents that do 1 duplex deal a year to supplement their income. I know others just simply, once they've got 50 grand, they go put down and buy another property in a prime spot, and they negative gear it. We're in a great position, gang. As Harry Triguboff said, real estate's a great business to be in because your 2 partners is the government and banks, and they don't want property to go down. They're great partners to have. So, Ryan, I want to thank you so much. It's actually getting very close to you spending some time with your family and then going to your 9:30 p.m. sleep. It's actually, believe it or not, apart from Monday nights, pretty much most other nights, Ryan, I've got a Peter Alexander, what do you call it, a gown, and I'm lying down, ready. I've got a night ritual. I need about 45 minutes to calm down, and then I fall asleep, and I'm usually asleep by 9 o'clock. Yeah, you wake up at 5 o'clock. That's a really good 8 hours sleep, but we've had some great feedback. Anyway, gang, follow this guy. PRD Newcastle, right?
Yeah, PRD Newcastle, Macquarie, Central Coast, yeah.
Ryan, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Tom. Really appreciate it.
All righty.
Cheers.